Germany is one of the most powerful nations in the world today, but its past is filled with battles, betrayals, and rebirths. From tribal warriors fighting Rome to the rise and fall of empires, Germany's story is one of the most dramatic in history. So how did a land once divided into hundreds of states become the modern nation we know today? Let's dive into the epic history of Germany. Our journey begins more than 2,000 years ago. The Germanic tribes, fierce, independent, and deeply tied to their lands, clashed constantly with the Roman Empire. Rome wanted to expand eastward, but the Germanic forests proved deadly. In 9 AD, at the Battle of Teutoburg Forest, the Germanic chief Arminius led an ambush that wiped out 3 entire Roman legions. Imagine the shock in Rome, an empire that ruled most of Europe brought to its knees by tribal warriors in the forests of Germania. From that moment on, much of Germany remained outside Rome's control, keeping its culture and independence intact. By the 800s, a new figure rose, Charlemagne, or Charles the Great. He created an empire that stretched across modern-day France, Germany, and Italy. Crowned Emperor of the Romans in the year 800, he is remembered as the father of Europe. His reign blended cultures, languages, and traditions. But here's the twist. His empire didn't last. After his death, it splintered, setting the stage for centuries of division. In 962, Otto the Great revived Charlemagne's dream, becoming the first emperor of what we call the Holy Roman Empire. But don't be misled by the name. It was never truly holy, rarely Roman, and certainly not united. Instead, it was a vast patchwork of kingdoms, duchies, bishoprics, and free cities. At times, there were over 300 different states within its borders. Picture trying to govern a country where every local ruler has their own army, their own laws, and their own ambitions. Yet, despite its chaos, the Holy Roman Empire survived for centuries. It became a center of trade, culture, and philosophy, while also being a constant battleground for power. The 1500s brought one of the most world-changing events in history, the Protestant Reformation. In 1517, Martin Luther, a German monk, nailed his 95 Theses to a church door in Wittenberg. His challenge to the Catholic Church spread like wildfire. Think about it. One man with a hammer and a piece of paper ended up reshaping Christianity forever. Germany split between Catholic and Protestant states, and tensions exploded into violence. The worst came with the 30 Years' War, 1608–1648. This brutal conflict turned Germany into a battlefield for all of Europe. Whole towns were burned to the ground, millions died, and foreign armies ravaged the land. By the time it ended, Germany was shattered and weaker than ever. But from the ashes, a new power rose, Prussia. Though small in size, Prussia built an army so disciplined that it became the envy of Europe. Under Frederick the Great in the 1700s, Prussia challenged Austria, another German-speaking giant, for leadership. Prussia wasn't rich, it wasn't huge, but it turned its entire society into a military machine. Every citizen, from farmer to noble, served the state. This set the stage for Prussia to one day unite Germany under its leadership. By the 1800s, nationalism was sweeping across Europe. The French Revolution and Napoleon had torn through the continent, destroying old empires and sparking new identities. Germans, too, began to dream of unity. Enter Otto von Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor. Through brilliant diplomacy and carefully chosen wars, Bismarck united the German states under Prussian leadership. The final step came in 1871, after Germany's stunning victory over France. In the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles, the German Empire was proclaimed with King Wilhelm I of Prussia as emperor. The symbolism was powerful. Germany declared its empire not at home, but in the palace of its greatest rival. For the first time in history, Germany was a single nation state, but unity brought ambition and conflict. Germany's rapid rise alarmed Europe. World War I broke out in 1914, and after 4 years of bloodshed, Germany was defeated. The Kaiser abdicated, and the empire collapsed. The Weimar Republic that followed struggled. Hyperinflation destroyed savings, and political chaos shook the country. At one point, people literally carried wheelbarrows full of money just to buy bread. Out of this despair rose Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. Promising strength and unity, they led Germany into World War II. The result was catastrophic, cities reduced to rubble, millions killed, and the Holocaust leaving a permanent scar on history. In 1945, Germany was divided into East and West. The West embraced democracy and rebuilt with incredible speed. The East fell under Soviet control, ruled by a communist regime. The Berlin Wall became the most powerful symbol of this division, families separated, lives split in half by concrete and barbed wire. Then in 1989, the impossible happened. The Berlin Wall fell. Crowds poured into the streets, tearing down the wall piece by piece. Within a year, East and West were reunified. For the first time since before World War II, Germany was whole again. Since then, Germany has grown into one of the world's strongest economies, a leader in technology, industry, and European politics. Today, it stands not as a fractured land of tribes or divided states, but as a united country that has learned from its darkest chapters to build a brighter future. From the forests of ancient Germania to the glittering halls of Versailles, from devastating world wars to the fall of the Berlin Wall, Germany's history is one of resilience, tragedy, and transformation. It is a story of a people who endured centuries of division and conflict, yet emerged as one of the most influential nations in the modern world.